Great, thanks for joining us for tonight's broadcast. All right, this is George W. Bush and his secret space program, Total Recall, and Crystal Cities, Crystal Realm channelings. Yeah, that's a little bit brighter. So George W. Bush will, yeah, not exactly not exactly the best way to start anything. I was going to do something about Afghanistan, but I want to beat that to death. Anyway, I'll go into that in a second anyway. Yeah, I'll go into that for 5 seconds. Cybertotal.com and private sessions. Shop here. I'm still in. I'm still in July, but for some people, I'm in August. I'm like on the 4th or the 5th for some people. Same situation here. The webinar sign up. A webinar tomorrow and Saturday. Social network, behind the scenes, and okay, so so George W. Bush. Oh yeah, this actually connects to the secret space situation. First off, about Afghanistan, I don't think it's just like I said. I think I said it yesterday. Just who cares? I mean, just theater for the news networks. Yeah, they got nothing better to do themselves. The government has nothing better to do themselves, so they have a bunch of people with nothing better to do with themselves. So isn't the Taliban under the CIA rule anyway? So it's a big joke. I mean, we have this huge military that can't take out the Taliban. Does that make any sense? Because it's the ones that are higher up that are keeping them going. So it's just corruption. That's all. Just the way it is. That's how we keep the taxpayers going. That's why we keep our military the way it is. So just a big joke. Just like most things. So yeah, it's kind of inspired. Well, I don't know if this is inspired. It's part of it. So this is the secret space program stuff I talked about. I didn't mention because there's a lot of layers to it, but George W. Bush was there. So this, yeah, it's like little increments into this wide brand. It's a wide. I'll just give you a short version of it. Now, George Bush, I don't remember a whole lot about him. I just obviously does not look like he is here, but I'll have to tap more into him overall. But either way, this isn't going to go deeply into him. It was kind of the lead up to where he got his power. So what I saw was kind of like an older. I can put up a picture, but we're not going to do that here. Like an older candidate and a younger one. Both of them have white hair, which is kind of funny. I think they do for the most part. One looks like John McCain, for example. The other one, not going to go into details, but I'll go into it later on. They're like independents running for president, and then they win. They get into the presidency, like USA, but call it something else. So it's called something totally different. So hopefully censors don't get kind of weird on this. But then when they get in there, they find out they can't do anything. So they can't make any changes. They can't do anything. They're kind of screwed. It's like, what are we doing here? We're just kind of like puppets, basically, pretty much. So what happens is the president ends up killing himself, and then he just can't take it anymore. It's like it's more corrupt than you ever imagined. Kind of like here. So the vice president now becomes president, but doesn't care either. I mean, he's horrified, so he quits. Just quits. So there's a lot of control people there. So he just quits and he goes to a hotel that's in the city, like Washington. He goes there, or I think he goes close by. He goes there to basically wait to be assassinated. So he goes there and it's like a big I always see like an Asian party, like a world party going on there. So there's always something going on 24 hours a day. So he goes there and parties, waiting for them to come and execute him. So he's there for like a week. He has Secret Service with him, but they can only do so much. his actual experience would probably have more fun he's had in like the last 3 or 4 years. Because yeah, I'm not sure exactly how long they were in power before all that went down. Maybe 3 or 4. That's not making itself clear. It doesn't really matter. But the vice president goes there, gets assassinated. Now, the one that was controlling a lot of this, kind of like the Secretary of State, um, which would not normally be somebody doing that, but that was like more of a George W. Bush type of person. It obviously didn't look like he looks here. He's a little bit kind of a different person, but it's kind of running. Once again, he's like a puppet of other people too. So he kind of became more, you know, the strong arm to make things happen. And he went to war like in Africa or somewhere that didn't have to happen. So, and then eventually the MK Ultra stuff gets kind of out of hand, and the main person in this, the Sebastian character I mentioned before, they mind control his kid, and kid does a school shooting. It's just all just a big love fest of positivity there. So, but the George W. Bush person does get taken out eventually, not easily. So the government pretty much gets toppled. So the George W. Bush is very controlled, very kind of kind of sleazy, but running the show. Of course, there's others running him, but he's just kind of moving in there in stealth to just like, we have to do things this way, and he ends up kind of running things. Even that is kind of in stealth. They don't really have like a president anymore. They kind of like, we don't have one, but we're still going to do whatever we want, something like that. But anyway, the government pretty much gets the U.S. or the U.S. / other world government gets that collapses. But that's when more androids become more advanced. You can't tell between them and humans anymore. So like the human population really goes down. Doesn't go completely down, but like the android population is still kind of small, but the human population just plummets due to unnecessary wars and all of like the U.S. government or whatever / somewhere else, some other timeline government. So yeah, it's kind of the city, like it's like a prototype city, like I call it cybernetic city. That's like I would say like New York City. Everything's New York City, and that's the one that's controlling everybody and things like that. So the George W. Bush person gets taken out overall, but pretty much is just as slimy as today. I think he's actually in that realm a little bit smarter than he is here. I guess is sometimes the worst. Yeah, it depends. They get dumber over time. It all depends on the person. But for him, he just kind of, I guess even for him, he's doing things he really should not be doing. But they do show people like the wars that he started because he was doing wars already. Like he was like the shadow president, you can say. So you have like your presidency, the two people I mentioned, but he was kind of running the show behind the scenes. So when they got rid of the presidency, practically, because they show as I'm speaking about this, like humans with like robotic parts for obvious reason because their arms and legs get dismantled because of war. So yeah, when I saw a picture of him with somebody with no legs and stuff, something just it just caught something. And when we went to the Iraq war, I knew something wasn't right, obviously. But here we are in all our glory. So I wanted to put that out there. Is there anything else on that? That's about it. Yeah, I'm not going too deep on George. Nobody cares. But a lot of these people, as politicians, have been other places causing, doing what they do best. Being the mediocrities that they are, being evil, and just continuing in different realms. So he doesn't look like anything he looks like here. He is a little bit smarter, a little bit more sophisticated. You would never actually know it was the same person, but I could feel that vibration of it. That was him. So to recap a little bit, is it's pretty much like a shadow president or controlled by a shadow president, doing things like going into wars that they should not be doing. Basically, they go into these wars, at least in this realm that I'm talking about, to advance technologies or take technologies. It's all about dominant power of who can control information, things like that. So I would say in that realm they do have holographic people that look pretty real also, but not. Yeah, I can go. Yeah, as I tap more into it, that's why I thought it was fiction. I could just tap more into. I can really dive more into detail, but me remembering all those details is another story. There's just no way I can remember everything here. Just so, so Total Recall is kind of like a connection to this. I connect to Total Recall energies and then the crystal realms. Total Recall is just remembering. There's different ways of looking at that, different aspects. So just see where we get with that. But yeah, that was it about the George Bush. I'm not thinking of anything else. Somebody wants to hear any more about that? I'm gonna make a longer segment of all this, of not for the night stuff, more separate. I don't think I'll have time maybe this weekend. Maybe I can have some time for it. And it's going to be probably pretty long. I'll have images too, so you can put what I'm saying and image together to see what I'm talking about, get a better visual of what this place looks like. So I tell you, yeah, another the show Miami Vice has connections to this world because it has a crime families and all that. It's very connected to that Sherlock Holmes type in some ways. It has a little bit of connection, but the Miami Vice thing is a TV show. You can look it up. It has connections to, it's kind of like a lot of style, but it has a lot of cryptic energies about it. Even Miami Vice on season 4 has something about aliens. So it's like, where did that come from? Because I believe my energies were a part of that season 4. It's like the season, we're all part of these things. Some of the shows are actually part of it, like astrally, giving them knowledge. So anyway, about that. Okay. Like some people are part of My Little Pony and wherever else that's out there. So Total Recall, I'm not sure where that's going to go, but we'll see. All right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings, we are the collective consciousness of your memories. We're not exactly your Akashic, we are the collective consciousness of your realm, what you have forgotten, whatever you are remembering. What needs to be remembered is remembered right now. So you're always, yes, in the future. Many of you are at least 10 years or a few days, depending on the person, of what you're bringing in. So knowledge from your past, either your past in this lifetime or other lifetimes, some lifetimes need to be remembered for you to go forward. Mm-hmm. So this is why past life regressions are important, not for everybody, but for certain people. Of course, you're not always ready to remember, but you're unlocking that side of yourself for you to go into a new timeline. Now, somebody say, I want to connect to the timeline to unlock myself. That's not always the case. That's always a time for it. So you're going into this new realm of understanding yourselves. So total recall is not necessarily needs to be done instantly, but you're always doing that in the astral. Now, I realize many of you in the astral are actually protecting yourselves. Well, that your memories aren't erased. I mean, literally, to bring into this reality, because there are beings here trying to they don't want you to remember. So yes, there's a psychic war going on. So there's a level that you're not really thinking about very often. Who can? But your higher dimensional self can see it all. So there are, a galactic war. So if you remember this lifetime in your past, you get healed and then you move forward. Beings don't want you to do that. So, and this is why memories or thoughts are removed. Now, sometimes those thoughts are removed because the repercussions of it, there's reasons behind it, but of course, there are other beings that they're just there to remove thoughts. Some of them are archon beings, but not all of them. And some of you going to the astral realms will probably see, depending on where you are, see more Egyptian vibrations. Maybe not what you would see here, meaning more lit up, more colorful, more of life. Some are here to take information. Some are here to give it. So your ancient Egyptians still play a big role in your timeline that you are here. I mean, a lot of times the pyramids, the timelines are tied into the pyramids itself, or all pyramids, or all structures for that matter. What is the oldest structures in the world? Of course, well, technically your mountains are, your trees, but also your, pyramid structures. As you know, pyramid plays a big role in elite structures and all of that. So their timelines are very intertwined to that. So if you do a healing, clear out the pyramid structure within your own energy field. Of course, that's up to you. Some might feel it. Some might feel like you've been at the top of the pyramid of many incarnations, and many are actually going through. Many have been elitists here, and now they come into this realm to give back. Give back on multiple levels. So this is why some souls just feel like they just have to give. Like, I'm just a humanitarian. Well, there's more to it than that. But the Akashic record within you is usually sealed. It's protected through your higher self, through your own energy, but it can be infiltrated at times, and like files find release. Like alien beings want to know who you are. That's why you get energy attacks to lower your vibration, so they can go in through your chakra files and see where you came from. So it's like going, hacking somebody. Over time, this will make more sense. So attack is like being hacked. Not always, though, but there's possible of an attempt of a hacking possible. Now, some people get hacked altogether and a whole other consciousness comes in. Some are already tired of this world and ready to be taken over anyway. Especially when you have drug addiction or any type of alcoholism, it's easy to get taken over. So you're going into this awareness of yourselves, especially where alcohol comes from. Some of you that tap more into that vibration probably stay away from as much as possible, especially when you see how your energy field gets manipulated and how many attachments come of it. Like one beer can add to like 20 or 30 or even 100 attachments. It all depends on the situation, especially when you're in a bar drinking. That's like just you come out in a whole nother person. Let's put it that way. Over time, your world will see more clearly on that, but at this time, obviously not ready to see itself, now is it? Greetings to you. We are, yes, the crystalline beings from the higher realms. Greetings. So as you connect to your higher dimensional energy fields, yes, you release a lot of blockage of human. Many here obviously come here for the human experience. You can say the Neanderthal experience, the next generation of the Neanderthal. Of course, the Neanderthal has a lot of stories on that, but the human vibration basically is you're going more in your form is the Neanderthal is actually more for earthbound. Of course, some might see them on ships and whatever it might be, but a lot of it is earthbound. What you are created for is for outbound here and other places. And obviously, going into space has not been the easiest. But our crystalline energies, many of you are tapping into those frequencies to remember yourselves, mostly to protect yourself in a world like this. So your crystalline chakras, It also connects to the center of the earth. And some of you that are earth people, from Agartha. You can say a crystalline world. You actually crystallize the vibrations more than you might realize. But some of those crystals are cracked and open up for this human experience to occur. So the Atlantean vibrations, of course, and Lemurian also, or higher frequency, meaning that beings in the third dimension can see your world as just a crystal world altogether. Like this is nothing but crystals here in the third dimension. But you're actually having a whole civilization running here behind the scenes. So the world had to say crack for this physical realm to exist. Well, you're taking higher dimensional knowledge that from our perspective, the human had as much as it needed from higher frequency levels, but had not had to mature the soul, and that's what you're here to do. So you have the knowledge, but you don't always know what to do with it. I mean, many of you have astral knowledge or multi-dimensional knowledge where you can actually see yourself on other planets and actually see your other versions of yourselves and actually manifest into those realms like teleport without a ship. So you're bringing that knowledge here. So your memories is bringing that knowledge here. Some of the secret space program energies is actually healing the earth. So you see some dark energy from the secret space that's healing a wound that has caused a lot of blockages from this planet. Meaning that the secret space, Vance, like your version of Earth now, but back in the 1800s or the 1700s, is very high technically advanced, but it's, it's in another realm, but it's affecting that part of your Earth. That's a little bit confusing, but so you have an advanced civilization of Earth in the past affecting it, blocking it from its evolution. Why that's done, they have different reasons for it. They're not going to let us tap into that. Always reveal it. So this time frame, basically, yes, the download from astral is basically removing the blockages so you can see more of your world for what it truly is. It's like now you're seeing more of dessert instead of just the meal that you're being served, or you serve yourself. Basically, you're seeing behind the scenes. Now, behind the scenes isn't so easy now, is it? I mean, it might seem like you want to know the knowledge, holographic realities, reptilian beings that are controlling society. And some of you are really allowing that to come through, but it's a timeline that if you get affected by it, it'll take you out of your, like you're here for a certain reason for those that aren't ready for it. There are others that are ready for it. They're doing their own thing. You're helping others get where you're at to be able to see these things that are behind the scenes. This is what your awakening is all about. It's just basically helping others open their eyes. Because eventually you'll see everything that's here when the time is right. But obviously some humans still have this hold on to the physical. And that's manipulation from your secret space, of course. They're doing everything they can to keep your world locked down. So to heal it is not the easiest, of course. Some of you actually, that's why you spend so much time in astrals to heal that vibration, but it goes on and on and on. You might heal one aspect of it, but there's another aspect of it. Yeah, it's like a whole nother job, basically. And I'll come through more clearly, but not. Some of you might, yes, get more glimpses of it. It'll become more of your pop culture, what's been controlling your world. A lot of times, like your secret space knowledge, become more part of fiction when it's ready to release from your Earth. It's like now you're ready to experience on a fiction level, through entertainment. That means you're ready to see it, and you're also ready to let it go. So what you're not seeing here, you're still dealing with. So you might be seeing it on a spiritual level, but others are not ready to see it on that level. It's very heavy. Yes, you're all connected to different. So the secret space, everyone's involved in a certain way. You might not think you are, but if you're on this planet, you're in it in some form. Some of you are like wise. I know it sounds funny, but wise people, meaning that you're involved with it, but you're not involved with it. It's like you're there, but it's like all that conflict is over there. I'm just here to give others wisdom and sit here with my cane and smoke, hold my cane and smoke my pipe and not get involved with all that nonsense that you guys are doing. There's a lot of that going on, and also you have your matrix people that are under its control. That's what many of you are here to unplug them from that reality, freeze them from here. So so there's a lot of that going on. And humans are just, it's just the human trafficking. You're Yes, is very prominent in your secret space world. Well, those human trafficked people are your people that are shut down here that cannot awaken. That's why you're here to free them. Now you can look at that any way you want. You can ignore it. You can pretend it doesn't exist. That's fine. Not everyone's ready to see these type of things. Of course, you have religions in the secret space program that are completely twisted. You think they're bad here, but they're having people eat food, they eat creatures they should not be eating, and things like that, all to the holy god or wherever they created. And some of these holy gods are, yes, some of them are reptilian beings, some of them are bird people, and so forth. And they make it, very Babylonian. And they make it, or Egyptian, you can say. But it's more in the secret space realms. So, yes, this is all just for the wound to be realized and healed is, yes, your journey. So it's day by day, really. Because some of this knowledge you're not supposed. I mean, you can have these downloads, but it's not necessarily meant to be said publicly. Or as many and your normal people are obviously getting these downloads themselves, but that's what gets many of them to do alcoholism or drugs, because they see themselves as somebody else. Some of them are actually celebrities in the secret space program. Many of those are drug addicts, drug dealers, or even pimps are celebrities in the secret space program.